Jack Doherty is in serious trouble again, and this time it's explosive. His ex-girlfriend McKinley has come forward with shocking claims that have sent shockwaves across social media. What started as online drama has quickly turned into something that looks far more serious. McKinley appeared on Camila Araujo's podcast and revealed disturbing details about her past experiences with Jack and his inner circle. Her story was emotional, unsettling, and raised major questions about what might have really gone on behind closed doors. At first, people thought this was just another influencer feud, maybe clout chasing, maybe exaggeration. But then, as more information surfaced, things began to look different.
He ends up this one night taking me to dinner, and he was like, I want you to come with me. I'm meeting up with my business guy. I'm not saying his name. We end up going. It's a really nice dinner. It's with a bunch of other people I had never met before, but it was this older guy. Jack introduced me to him. We start talking a little bit, and he just brings up, so why don't you have an OnlyFans? This man, he's like in his 40s.
And you've never met him before?
Never had met him before. I was like, well, it kind of caught me off guard, especially like coming from an older man. I was just kind of like, that's the first thing you say to me is, why don't you have an OnlyFans? I was like, it's against my morals. That's all I said. I was like, it's just the way I was raised. Like, I that's something not in the cards for me. And I'm firm on that. And he said, fuck your morals. I'll never forget this night. Michelle walked into the bathroom I was in. I was by myself. And she basically told me, listen, don't freak out, but Jack really wants you to start OnlyFans. And he said that there's no reason for you guys to be together if you're not helping. I broke down in tears. I was like, wow. Everything that he had said to me, like, oh, I know you're my wife because you don't have one. And getting me to go to dinner and try to get me on OnlyFans, but it didn't work. Now it's an ultimatum. He wanted me, when he realized he didn't have the control over me when it came to other people and like what they could say, he realized that he did need to create an ultimatum for me. And that was hard for me, and he knew that. He knew what I felt and how I felt about him and the whole situation. And I cried, and I was like, let me talk to Jack. Like, I just need to talk to him. I was thinking, if I go and talk to him and just say, this is how I feel about this, like, he'll respect it again. And like, if he sends me home and doesn't want to be with me because of this, then like, I guess it is what it is. But I didn't want to lose that. And that was what I was like prioritizing. It wasn't what I could make on OnlyFans. I had no idea. I had no idea how much money you could make on OnlyFans. I just knew that I really liked this guy. But I remember walking into the room that he was in. He was alone also with one of his employees. And I walked in and they just start laughing because Jack had never brought up OnlyFans to me. So it was like,
because he made everyone else do it.
Very awkward. Yeah, he made everyone else do it. It's sad looking back on it because that was something I respected. I was like, I respect the fact that he cares about my beliefs and he understands that. After talking to him, I was explaining how this is not in the cards for me, Jack. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, my parents, like, I can't even imagine what they would think if I did this. And he was like, your parents are gonna get over it. Like, they're gonna realize how much money you're gonna make. And I was like, am I though? Like, I had no idea. I was like, am I gonna make money? I don't know. And they were like, you are going to be very well off. They were like, this is going to be the biggest success ever. And Jack was telling me, he was like, you're gonna be, my main girl. Like, we can post together. We can finally act like boyfriend and girlfriend. We can start doing things together. And like, it's not reasonable for you to be in my life if you're not involved in my life.
McKinley described a situation that left her frightened and confused, suggesting that someone close to Jack crossed serious boundaries. She said she woke up feeling scared and disoriented, not understanding what had happened, and that Jack was present, but didn't seem to grasp the seriousness of what was going on. Her account has the internet divided. Some say it's impossible to ignore her words, that she sounded genuinely shaken, and that her version of events deserves to be heard. Others, though, are questioning the timing, wondering why these claims are coming out now, after the breakup, and after both moved on publicly. Still, no matter which side people take, the story has pulled Jack Doherty back into the spotlight, and not in a good way. As McKinley told her side, she hinted that Jack wasn't just a bystander, but might have known more than he let on. She claimed he brushed things off the next day, acting like nothing happened. That's what made people stop and think. Because if he truly didn't do anything wrong, why didn't he take action? Why didn't he call the authorities or make sure everything was properly handled? Those are the questions echoing online right now. But to be fair, not everyone is fully on McKinley's side either. Some viewers believe her story should have gone straight to the police rather than a podcast. They argue that social media shouldn't be a courtroom. Still, others counter that survivors often speak up only when they finally feel safe, and that podcasts and interviews are sometimes the only platforms where they can be heard without fear. Meanwhile, Jack's past controversies are resurfacing fast. His reputation for reckless business dealings, controversial pranks, and his involvement in an OnlyFans management agency are all being re-examined. McKinley has accused that agency of being manipulative, saying Jack pressured her to promote it, and that behind the scenes, it was far from glamorous. She claimed he used wealth and influence to gain trust, then controlled how things were run. According to reports, that agency allegedly took large cuts from creators, kept control over their content, and restricted their freedom to speak out. As these claims spread, more people started coming forward with similar stories. Leaked screenshots, old contracts, and even audio clips are now circulating online, all painting a picture of power being used in questionable ways. Commentators are comparing Jack's empire to something darker, saying it feels less like entertainment and more like manipulation. Some creators have spoken out directly, claiming they felt used or misled by promises of fame and financial success that never truly came. And when you look at how the internet reacts, it's clear this is more than just drama. It's a test of how far influencer culture can go before accountability kicks in. Things escalated even more when rumors surfaced that police had recently visited Jack's house, possibly connected to these growing allegations. Some even claim he was interrupted during a live stream by Child Protective Services and law enforcement, though Jack has denied this and called it harassment. Whether that incident was real or not, it shows how serious the situation has become. Jack has responded to some of the criticism, calling the accusations exaggerated or false. He says people are trying to bring him down, that they're jealous or out for attention. He insists that he's misunderstood. But when multiple stories, documents, and recordings start aligning, it's harder for the public to just brush it off. What's happening to Jack Doherty right now could be one of the biggest influencer downfalls in recent memory. Collaborators are quietly backing away, sponsors are cutting ties, and his follower growth has slowed to a crawl. People who once saw him as untouchable are now questioning everything.
Freaking out.
And even though he's trying to rebuild his image with new content and positivity,
what happened?
the shadow of
I'm
these
like
allegations is
shaking.
impossible
I can't
to
even
escape.
Explain what happened.
Online petitions are now demanding platforms investigate or restrict Jack's
for me.
content,
And I was like,
especially his involvement with younger audiences
audiences
and controversial business activities.
He refused.
Live.
But I just started it.
Like, why?
Because this is like fucking great.
Everything's great content for you.
But it
I just
happened.
fucking died.
But you're alive. Let's share the story. Come on, I thought you agreed
Fuck
to.
you.
You're
For
gonna
thinking that's okay.
tomorrow though. You're gonna be so happy
But,
you
like,
recorded this. You know that.
Maybe record it, but going live again?
Because it
right
gets
now,
clipped. You're gonna see it on TikTok.
Doesn't matter.
It
doesn't
does.
fucking matter.
I'm doing
For
this.
once, please. I'm asking, please.
If we record it, it makes it easier.
He refused to shut off the camera. He refused to stop his live stream. He was laughing about it, saying like, well, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and like you're gonna wake up to all these TikToks and like these viral clips. And I'm like, Jack, I don't care. I'm like, everything is content. Like, I don't know what isn't anymore. Like, even this, like you can't just feel a little bit of empathy for me after going through that. And you know, he continued his live stream. He didn't listen to me. And I was like, what more does it take for you to just respect me? And what happened to you? What happened to the guy that made me feel safe in the beginning? Like, this was horrible, and now you don't care. And I realized in that moment, I was like, this man doesn't fucking care about me. You don't care.
The situation has grown beyond influencer gossip. It's becoming a matter of legal and ethical concern. If authorities truly are investigating, this could lead to real consequences, financial, reputational, and possibly legal. Whether or not Jack faces charges, his image has taken a hit that might never fully recover. There are a few possible outcomes here. Maybe Jack is cleared of wrongdoing and proves that the allegations were false. Maybe the evidence mounts and he's forced to face accountability in a courtroom. Or maybe this all fades slowly into internet memory. Another scandal people forget after a few weeks. but one thing's certain. The illusion of invincibility that once surrounded Jack Doherty is gone. His ex-girlfriend's voice, the leaks, the stories, they've opened a door that can't be closed. Now the world is watching, waiting to see whether justice will actually be served or if another influencer will manage to slip through the cracks once again. So what do you think? Is Jack Doherty the victim of online exaggeration, or is the truth finally catching up to him? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for updates, because this story is far from over.